Now let us look at an extraordinary chemical that lies at the heart of these energy exchanges. Nearly all of the free energy used in cells is released from a very important chemical called adenosine triphosphate, commonly abbreviated ATP. As we might have guessed from its name, adenosine triphosphate is made up of a molecule called adenosine with 3 phosphate groups connected to it. These are special chemical groups composed of the elements phosphorus and oxygen. ATP directly energizes the chemical processes of life. This man may not realize it, but he could not work or move about without ATP. ATP delivers the energy that his muscles need to contract. Warm-blooded animals such as this squirrel rely on free energy from ATP to provide body heat. The specific source of this usable energy is the 3rd phosphate bond of ATP. When this bond is broken, free energy is provided to the cell, and a new compound, adenosine diphosphate, is formed, along with inorganic phosphate. ADP has just 2 phosphates rather than 3. If living things did not constantly renew their supply of ATP, the levels of ADP and inorganic phosphate would build up inside of their cells. Therefore, it is critical that some way exists for putting the pieces of ATP back together again. That is, for creating new ATP from ADP, inorganic phosphate, and free energy. However, accomplishing this feat in living things is no simple matter. Somehow, new energy must be brought into the organism from outside to replace the energy that has been used up. Many organisms, including all animals, take in new energy through their food. High-energy compounds are simply eaten and digested, and energy-rich molecules are delivered to cells throughout the organism. The survival of these organisms depends upon a supply of ready-made foods. But where does this food come from? Ultimately, it comes from another group of organisms that capture energy through a marvelous process called photosynthesis. The meaning of photosynthesis is hidden in the word itself. Photo refers to light, and synthesis means to bring together. So, photosynthesis means to bring together using light. Specifically, light energy is used to bring together carbon dioxide and water to create the sugar glucose. In a typical plant, water for photosynthesis is drawn into the plant through its roots and is pulled upward through the stems into the leaves. Air containing carbon dioxide enters the leaves through tiny openings in the leaf surface called stomata. Photosynthesis takes place in the leaves and green stems. Sunlight striking these surfaces will be captured and used to form the chemical bonds of glucose. As we will see later, the energy stored in these glucose bonds is used during another metabolic process called cellular respiration to form new ATP. Photosynthesis occurs in plants, in algae, and in some bacteria. In all but the most primitive organisms, the process of capturing sunlight takes place in green-colored organisms called chloroplasts. The chloroplast seen here is found in the cytoplasm of a single-celled alga. The cells of higher plants contain large numbers of chloroplasts. An individual chloroplast is bounded by an outer membrane and an inner membrane that enclose the stroma, a region of the chloroplast that consists of dense, enzyme-rich fluids. Within the stroma, layers of the thialcoid membrane are concentrated in special stacks called grana. The greenish color of the grana is due to the high concentration of an extremely unusual molecule called chlorophyll, the molecule that actually captures the energy of sunlight during photosynthesis. Now let us take a simplified look at the process of photosynthesis and the explosive energy that drives it. The awesome explosion of a hydrogen bomb releases an enormous amount of energy. It is ironic that deadly thermonuclear reactions hold the key to all life on Earth. For in the Sun, incomprehensibly powerful explosions of hydrogen gas create the light for photosynthesis. A minute fraction of the energy generated by the Sun's nuclear reactions radiates toward the Earth. On Earth, green plants present their leaves toward the Sun to receive this energy. The first part of photosynthesis, called the light reactions of photosynthesis, begins inside a single cell of a leaf, as a tiny packet of the Sun's light energy, called the photon, passes into the grana of the chloroplast, where it collides with a chlorophyll molecule. An electron in the chlorophyll molecule absorbs the photon's energy. As a result, the electron becomes excited or more highly energized. Next, almost instantaneously, the energy of the excited chlorophyll electron is used to bond ADP to inorganic phosphate, forming new ATP. This particular ATP will stay in chloroplast to power a later stage of photosynthesis. Next, something important happens to the water molecules present in the chloroplast. They are split into oxygen and hydrogen, and the hydrogen is split further, separating the single electron from its proton. The oxygen so produced is free oxygen, and some of it will escape into the atmosphere. This is the source of most of the oxygen on the planet Earth. Everything to this point has prepared the scene for the second stage of photosynthesis,